So this is a first. I don't know if this even is gonna sound good or whatever. Who gives a flying fuck? You know what I'm saying? I woke up this morning to a knock on the door. Of course, I got the email a few days ago that the painter was gonna come. Actually, I didn't know who the fuck it was gonna be. Somebody was gonna come and finish the door and the window in my apartment, and I didn't know what the fuck they were gonna come finish because they did it last week and it looked fucking done. But the guy showed up today at like 10 o'clock this morning, and he just had to put a little white coat of paint around the edge of everything. But he turned out to be a cool fucking dude. You know, as far as I could tell. I had met him for like 2 minutes before this conversation started, so I just wanted to put it out there. It was a cool conversation about music with a stranger that I just let into my apartment. And he noticed a bunch of equipment and stuff, and we just started talking. So I started recording. Enjoy.
You know, like we saw Zeppelin, and they were doing the Stairway to Heaven tour.
No shit.
And now that's amazing. That's an album that goes down in history. You know, that's just one of these bands that they sucked.
Live?
Yeah, they're horrible. Now, you, as a guitarist, would have been in heaven. But here's a guy doing a guitar solo for a half hour. Go, oh man, they got so many songs they could be doing. Why are they doing a drum solo for 45 minutes? And this is over in a half hour. And then another long guitar solo, you know, where now in hindsight, Jimmy Page, it would have been, holy shit. Yeah. You know, like seeing Hendrix and you're going, look how long he's playing. You say, well, that's Hendrix, it's just him.
Yeah.
But
the whole band was just chilling, like waiting for him to get done.
Yeah, and it was like, the cool thing about Zeppelin was, we were there to see him, right? And I'm there with my buddies. And they're from England now. And they're not even announced. They come out with like immigrants, you know, and he came out and I was like, holy shit, how cool is that? They're from another country and they didn't even announce them. So they come out. So my cousin leans forward and goes, who's this? I said, this is Zeppelin, man. This is what we paid to see. So then a couple songs later, the other guy down the end goes, hey guys, this is Zepp. And I said, yeah, man. 5 songs later, yeah. Like, no kidding, man. You want your money back? You know? But it was really...
These people didn't know their songs, or what?
Well, yeah. I mean, they didn't... you know, like, it was just...
or Stairway was just popular kind of back then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they knew, like, once the other songs, like, started to come on, they realized, you know, that they knew the songs. But they were like... It was just unreal, you know, like, you know, seeing some of these bands that were like, they just didn't give a shit. They came out and we saw Bowie, and it was the second time he had ever come to the country, and he was at the Tower Theater, not the David Live, this was like the Ziggy Stardust.
Okay.
And the Philadelphia Magazine said it was the best show to ever come to Philly. Like, you know, it was and I remember, like, one of my buddies was 14, like, we were kids.
Yeah.
And we were there, and my buddy said, you know, he had to lie to his dad, say he was visiting his grandmom. His mother took us up there to the 69th Street, the tower, and let us out, and then picked us up. And but it was like, holy shit, we never saw anything like that, you know. And then, sure enough, the guy's history. You know what I mean? He's an actor. He's done Broadway. He's got about 20 albums, you know. But again, I mean, he may not be you. And in the music you're doing, but at the time it was like, after seeing Zeppelin, after seeing the Stones, like little teeny little raisins walking around,
yeah,
and you're like, he stinks, man. You got to be kidding. I mean, he's, you know, like he's you know, like we would call it like it is. We would say, you know, or we would leave a band and say, oh my God, that warm up band, that was the greatest I've ever seen. You know, like we were
into the music.
Yeah, we were running into bands that were like, who the hell was that? Who's the warm up band again? You know, like they would really steal the show. 3 or 4 bands, you know.
That's what's happening these days a lot. I know a couple people that are like in touring bands, and it's fucking hard, man. Just to get out there and be able to afford to do it and get paid and everything. Like, and you got to really just go out there and show up, whoever the headlining band is, you know.
Yeah, and some of them were like even like when we saw Zeppelin, they sat down and they did like an acoustic set, which, you know, going to California with a naked in my heart, like, you know, whatever, like the songs they did, and it was like both feet on the brakes, like whoa, they're doing an acoustic set. What's this? What? But it was good. I mean, certain parts of the show were really good. But again, you got to realize it's at the Spectrum.
Yeah.
It's got the worst sound on earth. And so when you're outside, you get the same sound. You know,
right.
Wait in line. You know, so so I mean, we always considered the source. You know, every now and then we go to a show and it was like unbelievable sound. You know.
So I've been doing live sound with a friend of mine, learning some stuff, and it's hard, but it's fun. It also sucks when people come up and like, hey man, can you turn up the bass? Can you turn up? I'm like,
yeah. I remember my brother was in the band was playing, and they had a guy, and I went up and everything they were saying was echoing, and I said, hey man, you got treble on that thing? And he goes, yeah, turn it off. It's like, let's hear what they sound like.
Yeah.
Man. My brother doesn't sound like he's from frickin'
like an echo on it.
Yeah, he doesn't have an echo when he talks. So I said, come on, and they turned it down, and then they were like Talking Heads, and they were doing bands that really nobody was doing. They were doing really obscure songs, you know, and it was really a lesson in you know, with some of these shows. They were just unbelievable. Like again, local groups. Seeing bands. There was a band, the 80s, back in the 80s or 90s, now whatever the 80s. We saw them at like Dick Lee's at a club, you know. And then we would go to another club and we would see, you know, these groups that were really nobody. Like my buddy went to Browns Mills or whatever and saw like the Police, and they were like sleeping in a van. You know, sleeping in a van by the river, you know, like Tim Farley, right?
Chris Farley,
right? And they were literally doing that. And he said, man, this band is like unbelievable. And sure enough, they make. I mean, you know, you're played out now, but
yeah,
they were like breaking all the rules. You know, like there was, you know, something. You know,
it's hard for bands to even do that these days, man. It's hard to. Like, I read this one article about how a band was making $17,000 a year between the whole band off of their tour and everything because they owe the company money and all that.
Yeah, well, that's really, you know, that's really something. You know, you wind up, you know, a lot of bands. A lot of bands took such a hit and then later restructured it.
Not to mention the music industry is just crap now with the digital stuff and everything.
Yeah. They have.
It's hard.
Yeah, I don't. You know, it is really like. And that's then you have, you know, just the sex, rock and roll, you know, sex, drugs, rock, you know, like the whole lifestyle is tough.
Yeah.
It's really
it's
tough.
changed now. Like a lot of that's. I think that's why like you don't see a lot of good shit because they don't. People are so like on social media. You're out in the open. You can't be doing all the crazy shit you used to do and get away with it.
Right.
You know. So now it's like there ain't no crazy cool rock stars anymore.
Yeah.
They're just all getting paid for the man.
But we saw Bowie, and there was a band called Mott the Hoople, and the lead guitarist from Bowie, Nick Ronson and Ian Hunter, performed their own band. And the warm-up band was Journey, which became a huge band. The next warm-up band was Aerosmith. And they were like, you know, like, they stole the show. And this wasn't this Aerosmith that you're so tired of them. They were brand new. And it was like,
Before Steven Tyler's voice changed.
Yeah. And it was, they were the Toxic Twins. They were druggies and all, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But Journey came out, and the lead guitarist hit the first note and he broke 3 strings, and they had to stop the show and restring the
They
guitar.
didn't have a back.
Yeah, you know how when a guy breaks something, the guitar comes over the amps, and
Yeah.
actually the same color as the guy's outfit. If the guy's wearing an orange, they put orange. You know, if he's got a powder blue, they put powder blue. You know, like
Yeah.
they're that cool. Well, this one, 3 strings break, and it stopped, and the bassist was kind of almost like Spinal Tap. The bassist was trying to improvise, and like we were like, God, how embarrassing. I'm blushing now talking about it. You know, but again, the Journey became, multi-million-dollar stars. You know, they were selling out everything, and a lot of their music is still, played.
Isn't that their Don't Stop Believing, right?
Yeah, classic. They're kind of classic
That's like
rock.
the anthem for closing a bar now.
Yeah.
You know? Like that's the last song, last call.
Right. But again, you know what I mean? It's just like someone that says, I don't like Bon Jovi, but there's people that saw him in a club and say,
Yeah.
hey man, you think he's guy's talented, man? Of course, in the club, he was unbelievable. You know, and they're just rare times in your life.
Yeah.
Like you go see a group and they're pretty good, and then they make it.
Mhm.
They hit the big time. You know. What do you do when you're not rocking?
Well, I was a paralegal till recently. Got laid off, but that was like real estate foreclosure work.
Yeah.
Not my cup of tea, but it was what I've been doing for a long time.
Yeah, that's good.
But besides the music, I started a podcast, an arts and music one. So it's like a internet radio kind of show.
Cool. Like Mark Maron.
Yeah, exactly. Like on iTunes and Stitcher and all that shit.
That show's funny as hell.
Oh yeah.
And here I'm watching it, and I'm like, this is really funny, I mean, but it's kind of like Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's
Yeah.
you can't sit
That
down
humor.
with your grandpop and watch it
Nah.
because it's like really brutal,
Yeah.
It's a rated R Seinfeld, and you're watching it, and my daughter says, Dad, he's really got a podcast. I said, yeah, it's in the show. It's in his garage. She goes, no,
No.
he really has a podcast.
That yeah. And
And
that's
my-
where it is
yeah,
too. That
yeah.
garage.
Is it really? Is it really?
He had the president at that house
Well, my
when
daughter,
he interviewed him.
President of who?
Obama.
No kidding, really?
Yeah, he's the only president that's ever been on a fucking podcast, and he went to Mark Maron's house, and they had to shut down the whole street, and it was crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's really funny, and again, it's like, not Dad, she's like, he says, he's actually funnier than a show.
Yeah, comedian.
Yeah, the show is funny. And sometimes it's, it's off the wall, but when he's interviewing the guy on the TV show, that's really funny.
Mhm.
So,
And a lot of the time, those are like actual, like from the podcast interviews. You know?
are they really? Yeah.
So, it's
But,
cool.
but she was trying to tell me, she was saying it's really great. You gotta get serious, Dad, serious radio and all this stuff. And
Well, yeah, with his, he's got it so that you have to pay like a subscription if you want the old shows. But you can go on like the iTunes podcast app and just get like the latest like 50 shows that he's done for free.
I don't. We were always in Howard Stern,
Yeah.
and when 94, it was great.
He just re-signed.
Yeah, and then when he gets serious, a few buddies of mine had it, and it was like hearing him, all right, rated R now. This is really like
Yeah.
brutal, but funny. But you couldn't get it because half the time I'm in if I'm in a partner, you were into them, cool.
Yeah.
But most times it's a little old lady or something that
Yeah, wear headphones and shit.
Yeah, so I mean, my kid put every band on earth on my iPod, and it's just great. I'll put one ear in and I'll listen to it most of the time. On days like today, it's so sticky in your, having it even set up to the system, it's annoying, But
Yeah.
so I really kind of lost touch with him, and then when Stern was doing that game show. It was like kind of like, oh man.
Oh, the singing one.
Yeah, like how man.
What the hell are you doing?
He always called it jumping the shark. When an actor was cool and then
Oh yeah.
Where in his career he blew it, that's where he blew it.
He should have done that.
Now, maybe, you know, with the Sirius, it's still fantastic and it's funny. I mean, like he was really witty. But everyone talked to, wow, he's an idiot. And I'm just like,
He is getting a lot of
Like-
good guests on lately, but
but you know, a lot of people miss it. They just don't get it. You know, and you know, I know he's annoying, and I know he's this, but
that's what he's there for.
that's what's so funny.
He
He's
was
like,
just talking shit on podcasting like a couple months ago, and now he was saying that he was gonna quit Sirius, go to podcasting because podcasting's free basically.
yeah.
But then he just signed for another 12 years.
But it's like Larry David, you know, like he's annoying as hell. But that's what he does. It's a
Yeah.
shtick, you know. That's what's funny, you know. Hey, look, can you get that door for me,
No
man?
problem.
Hey, listen, have a nice Christmas.
You too.
Good luck. What's your name anyway?
Mike.
Mike, I'm Glenn.
Glenn, nice
If you
to
ever
meet
need
you, man.
anything, Mike Collar. I'm only the as far as maintenance, I'm only the painter.
Okay.
So I mean, I can't change your faucet or nothing. But
Cool, man.
Call, we'll take care of you.
Thanks a lot, bro.
Take it easy, man.
You
Good
too.
luck with the band.
Thanks a lot.